often imitated, never replicated. Two exciting brands, Razer and Panerai. What I love about these two brands is whenever they release a new product, they get the whole world talking as good brands should. Well, today what are we discussing? We are discussing a very special product that they've launched together in collaboration, but also we are discussing a cause that they are championing that is very close to our hearts. It is my distinct honor and pleasure today to be joined by the CEO of Razer, Mr. Min-Liang, and the CEO of Panerai, Mr. Jean-Marc Pontroué. Thank you guys for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
A pleasure.
I would like to start with a question for Min. I had the distinct pleasure of talking with your CEO of Razer FinTech recently. I understand that Razer has been trailblazing, has been leading the way, changing the game for the whole gaming industry for years. And then you've come in to disrupt the e-payments industry also. And what I find fascinating is that your fans are so hardcore. When you release a product, not only do they sell out straight away, you've got dozens of imitators who try and make the same thing in the same style, in the same success, but never really do succeed. And then you've got your die-hard fans who actually get tattoos of these products on their bodies. If you could be so kind to tell us, what is your immediate vision and your immediate plan for Razer in the near future?
Sure. Well, I think the immediate vision has always been the long-term vision for the company. For gamers, by gamers, that's been our motto. But the word gamer has really evolved through the years, right? So today, there are about 3 billion gamers out there. Pretty much every youth, every millennial out there is a gamer. And our vision really, truly, is to build an entire ecosystem for them. We've become the world's leading lifestyle brand for gamers. So everything from hardware, software, services, as you've mentioned, payments, etc. That's what we're doing, designing it just for gamers.
And Mr. Pontroué, I just spoke with Mr. Ficarelli, your Chief Marketing Officer, in Florence last year, and I understand that you've come to streamline your brand to just 4 collections of watches, right? The Luminor Due, the Radiomir, and the Submersible.
Absolutely.
And what I really like about Panerai is that you now sell full 360 experiences with your high-end limited watches.
Yes.
You sell your VIP clients exclusive experiences that money cannot buy. Could you tell me a little bit about your brand right now and where you want to take your brand?
Well, it's a good introduction of what Panerai has always stand for. Panerai Laboratorio di Idee.
Yes.
So, and that is one of the points which also put us very close to Razer, is being a pioneer.
Yes.
In experiences, in product, in technology for Razer. And the idea at Panerai was beyond the product, what could we bring to our best loyal customers, which we haven't brought today, on which nobody did so far. And the idea has been to offer a product, a very limited edition, associated to a very specific experience that basically they cannot buy because it's either with explorers, it's either with divers, it's either with military teams with which you are partnering, and you have access to the watch only if you have been through the experience.
Yes, and I visited private palaces in Florence for
Absolutely.
your last launch.
The secrets of Florence. You did the secrets of Florence, which is
beautiful.
You liked it. It's basically to show to some of our customers who are not only Italians, who came from all over the world, to let them discover the secrets of Florence, meaning not the ones that as tourists we are used to see, and this is what you've been doing.
Yes. So, why are we gathered here today? It is because of this partnership watch. I love it whenever you guys drop products, right? The whole world is talking. People who love Panerai, people who love Razer have said many good things about this watch. People who have not yet experienced this watch have had certain other things to say. So I would like to get your own opinion, maybe talk a little bit about the features and the functions of this watch to convince whoever's not experienced this watch yet why this is a very meaningful collaboration for your companies.
So the first time we met was 18 months, 2 years ago?
Oh, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Time flies.
And yeah, I know. It was in the middle of the COVID, and I was told by the team here in Singapore that Min was a big fan of Panerai, and that he was a big boss of Razer, and so on and so on. So I knew, of course, Razer before, and so we met together, and then we discovered that we had a common envy to support the protection of the environment and of the ocean. And our first original idea was how we can join our forces together, coming from two very different industries, where we join our forces to support Conservation International. And ultimately, it became also a watch. But the first target we had together was how to put our efforts together to support the protection of the ocean. And the watch came after, and that is all the design codes of Razer.
Yes.
It happens that it's very much black, or it's very much this green luminescent, which happens to be also the two colors that Panerai is using the most.
Yes.
And it was very quickly coming to this result, which is the intersection of what Panerai stands for, the Luminor 40, which is the emblematic product at Panerai.
Yes.
In terms of range, and with the design features of Razer.
Yeah, 40 meaning that it is the 40 millimeter.
40 millimeter size.
You've got
yes.
the second sub-dial. You've also got the very useful date. Right
Absolutely.
here.
You see what has been the design code of Panerai historically, which is a very clean dial.
Yes.
On the small second, which was at 9 o'clock, which was the signature of Panerai when it was relaunched in 1997.
It's a really stunning watch. And maybe Min, you could tell me what you think about this.
Oh, I think it's beautiful, of course, right? Well, I think in essence, the watch really was an extension of the partnership that we kicked off, really focused on everything. And that was really the progeny of the partnership where we talked about the environment, sustainability, recycling, so on and so forth. And it extended into how do we actually put all of this into a physical product, into something that truly represented, I think, the ideals of both companies. And to a certain extent, we talked about how different our companies were, but in many aspects, how similar. Things like our passion for technology, engineering, always making sure that we push the limits in everything. So I think when we first looked at this, we had our design teams come together, and we, I think, said at that point of time, it's probably the best thing ever or the worst thing ever when you get design teams coming together, trying to brainstorm and figure things out along the way. And I think we really made, I think, a truly beautiful product, I think, at this point of time. I mean, this is where our design managers really looked at it and said, how do we bring out certain elements? And certain elements like the green, the black, have really come together really well. And of course, with the recycled strap, it's something that we are wearing really proudly. And I think, as Jean-Marc mentioned, my first watch that I had fresh out of college, the very first watch I managed to buy in my first job was a Panerai. And we've really come full circle. And this is something I'm incredibly proud of.
We came very quickly to the result, by the way. We didn't have hundreds of back and forth because the Luminor is the Luminor, so you cannot change that. Then the ingredients of Razer, the black and the green, you cannot discuss that. So when you put that all together, the final design came very rapidly to this result. We have added the latest developments of Panerai, like the fast detachable strap.
Yes.
We have added the ingredients of sustainability, like the strap, like the e-steel material, to fit with what the spirit of this partnership was all about. And the idea was also how to expose our two communities, because Razer has a couple of millions of people following them. We have slightly less people following Panerai because we're not in the same business. But how we can mobilize everybody from our two industries to tell them, listen, there is an urgent issue we all have to solve together.
Yes.
It's not all the governments who will do that. It's not only foundations. It's all people who have a good willingness to do something. And that's how this partnership started and came to this product.
Correct. And that leads me to my most important question. Could you talk us through exactly what is Make Time for Our Ocean? What does this campaign entail, and what do you hope to achieve for our oceans?
So Panerai started very recently about the sustainability. It's our explorer whose name is Mike Horn, who has been in very remote areas in the world. So, and he was telling me very often, there is pollution in the big cities, like Singapore, like Geneva, like Milano, but there is also pollution in areas where none of us will never go. And that is a sign that the deterioration of the planet has accelerated the last couple of years. And this is where he was telling us, you have to do something, because we have at Panerai the chance to get a community of hundreds of thousands of people. But of course, when we gather our strengths together, it gives even more power to the message of addressing beyond new products at Razer or new products at Panerai, to give sense, to give a meaning to what we are doing, which is not only to sell products, but which is also to say there is an alert where we all have to be together to do something. And this speech on this message we sent to our communities was for us, for both of us, something which was very important. We have also shared some best practice. We have in two companies. We are not in the same business, but they have great ideas in Razer that we don't have in Panerai and vice versa, to fight against all the consumption of raw materials, to fight against some waste that we are doing in our two businesses and that we can reduce in the future.
Okay, what about you, Min? What do you hope to achieve with the Make Time for Our Ocean campaign?
Sure. I think, when we first started this, our road towards sustainability and the environment was very early on, primarily because our user base, the youth and millennials, have always been very focused on the environment. So this started with design for the environment. For our products, we use recycled materials, plastics, FSC certified packaging, so on and so forth. And through the course of that, we actually extended that all the way across to having a sustainability mascot called Snaky Snake throughout. And then over and above, we started working with one of the top organizations in the world focused, I think in terms of these initiatives, Conservation International. Now, when we were working with Conservation International, it was very focused in terms of reforestation, what can we do with that. But when we got together with Panerai, we also brought Conservation International into the mix.
Yes, it's true.
And we said, what can we do together for the oceans? And to that end, I think we've put together tangible, practical initiatives to ensure that in the case of a tagging of manta rays, we're able to research, provide results across to the ocean researchers, what can be done to better protect, I think, marine habitats, ocean, wildlife, so on and so forth. So these are areas, I think, that we both hope to achieve and to be able to execute upon certain things. And we thought coining the term "Make Time for the Ocean" is a pretty cool kind of tagline to make this happen.
Yeah. And to see the relationship between our two brands. Because probably our two communities, some of them have been surprised about this type of partnership. Panerai is not used as well as you, Razer, about doing partnerships. We don't do very often limited editions. We don't do very often partnerships. So you have to give a meaning to it. On Conservation International, on our common aim to protect the environment was the essence of our development. We don't want to enter the gaming business. I suppose they don't want to enter in the premium watch business. So the idea was really to put our strengths together and our financial power to help Conservation International.
We hope you enjoyed our little tete-a-tete with the CEOs of Razer, Mr. Min-Liang Tan, and Officine Panerai, Mr. Jean-Marc Pontroué. Till then, we need to join the party right now, guys. Thanks for watching.